All right, so let's talk about gun safety, safety rules, firearm rules. Why are we going to talk about them? Because they're important, okay? It's pretty basic for a lot of people. A lot of people have been in firearms for a long time, know them, but some people don't. So I want to get this information out to everybody. So there's only really 4 major rules you need to pay attention to. A lot of organizations have like different rules, and a lot of gun ranges have a bunch of different rules, range rules, but these are the 4 universal firearm safety rules, and you need to learn them and live by them, okay? So rule number 1, treat all firearms as if they're loaded. So most people will treat a loaded firearm as if it's loaded, pointing it in a safe direction, holding it properly. But as soon as we unload it, what do we end up doing? We end up just treating it as a piece of plastic and metal, an inanimate object. A lot of people will be pointing them in all kinds of different directions. Well, don't worry, it's not loaded. Well, a lot of people in the United States are killed by unloaded firearms because they thought they were unloaded, all right? So you want to treat them as if they're loaded. Even if you unload them, still treat them as if they're loaded all the time. And this brings us into our second rule. Don't muzzle anything you're not willing to shoot, kill, or destroy. So don't point your gun at anything you're not willing to shoot, kill, or destroy. So imagine there's a laser beam pointing out from this muzzle, all right? And everything it crosses, including me, myself, a phone, property, anyone else, whatever it's pointed at, it destroys it, okay? So don't point it at anything you're not willing to shoot, kill, or destroy. Then we go into the third rule. Third rule is keep your finger off the trigger until you are ready to use it. A lot of people, you can tell if they've had any kind of training because the first thing they do when they pick up a gun and they're looking at it, they put their finger right on the trigger, all right? Keep your finger off the trigger. This is not off the trigger. This is off the trigger. Humans have what's called a startle response. When we get startled, we'll grip our hands, all right? So if you have your finger on the trigger or even on the side of the trigger guard, such as this, and you get startled, you will pull the trigger on your firearm, okay? You can grip your hands and pull the trigger on your firearm, all right? So keep your finger off the trigger until you are ready to use it or you intend to shoot somebody or something, a target. That brings us into the fourth rule of your target. Know your target and what is beyond it and its surroundings. So a lot of people attribute this to the range. Okay, yeah, I know my target. I know I got a berm behind it or a backstop. I'm good to go. This is also in the real world. If you're going to be carrying a gun out in the real world and you need to take your gun out and use it, there's no backstop. There's no berm. No matter how much Hollywood has shown us that when they shoot 50 rounds at somebody and they miss them all, they just kind of disintegrate in the air. No, them bullets have to stop somewhere. Whether it's hitting a building, a car, or a person, you're responsible for that round, all right? So if you're shooting at somebody and you either miss or it goes through them, where's that bullet going? What's behind that person? Also your surroundings, what's in between you and that person? Are people running back and forth as you're getting ready to shoot, okay? So be aware of that. Be aware of your target, identify your target, what's beyond it, and your surroundings. Learn all 4 of these rules. Make sure you understand them, learn them, and live by them. If you live by all these rules and follow just these 4 rules, that's all you need is 4 rules, you're not going to have a problem. You're not going to have a negligent discharge. A lot of people will call them an accidental discharge. I don't call them that. I call them a negligent discharge because it was your negligence. Yes, a gun could accidentally go off. It's happened where a firing pin, something could break in the gun, strikes the primer, gun goes off. But as long as that gun was pointed in a safe direction, it's an accident. It doesn't hurt anybody. It's not negligence. So know the difference. So follow all these safety rules. If you need some training, come on out to Joyful Noyz Firearms Training and we'll get you that training. Because remember, you need to train to live, live to train. See you guys at the range.